Hello there, album enjoyers.
Dearest album enjoyers, we speak to you now very briefly to quickly plug the Enjoy an Album Patreon, aka Becoming an Ultra.
We are plugging Becoming an Ultra. Not the things that you get by being an Ultra, we are plugging the experience of becoming an Ultra.
If that's not the number one reason to become an Ultra, I don't know what is. No. It's just £5 per month. If you've ever listened to this podcast and thought, I like these fellas, I enjoy listening to their 4 free hours of content that they put out every month, I would like to purchase them a pint or a coffee one time. This is a way of doing that. But you get exclusive content in return.
You get exclusive content in return. You get full episodes on albums such as...
recently we did Grimes.
Visions, Ed Sheeran's Divide.
Yes, we did Anoni and the Johnsons. We did the Pogues.
The Pogues.
We did
Rum Sodomy and the Lash by the Pogues.
The Foo Fighters.
Yeah, oh, that was a sad one.
We did Idols. Black Country New Road.
Yeah.
Also,
Ants from Up Here.
You would have access to the Edinburgh Fringe Enjoy an Album live show.
We done a live show at Monkey Barrel Comedy Club. We fucking ripped it and shipped it. People were saying
People were saying it's one of the best things they've ever seen in their lives, including the Godfather. They said it was better than the Godfather.
People actually did say that it was the funniest thing they'd seen at the Fringe, and they weren't even fucking worms, never mind ultras. They were just like, that was really funny.
Yeah, like
they didn't even like us as people, and they went, you know, that was funny.
Yeah,
which is mental.
Yeah, so get on that. You also get ad-free experience.
Some of my biggest enemies have said that that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Barack Obama himself was in the audience. Chris Rowe, that was, let me be clear. That was a fantastic live show.
Let me be clear. I hate you. But that's funny.
Zane Lowe has watched it twice.
Zane Lowe, yeah, he played it on his... He played the whole live episode. Yeah.
He dropped it twice in a row.
Just like Barack Obama dropped bombs on various countries.
That was a fantastic live show. So you also get episodes a day early, and you get exclusive access to tickets for live shows when they do
ad-free experience. You don't have to hear this shite.
This shite every goddamn week, and we forget to do a new one every month. So sometimes it's 3 months of the same advert.
Yep.
This has probably gone on long enough. You understand what I'm saying. Become an Ultra today. Patreon.com/enjoy an album. Link in bio.
Just be sound and do it. Welcome to the Enjoy an Album podcast with Christopher MacArthur Boyd.
Wow, cool fun name. Christopher MacArthur Boyd. That's your jacking off name.
I put the Riz in Christopher.
Oh, nice. The Riz. The Riz Hotel. That's where I stay.
Risco McClelland was what I was actually about to say. I remembered he's not in this podcast. It's me and you.
Yeah. Unfortunately for everybody.
Unfortunately for fans of annoyances.
It's Christopher MacArthur Boyd and Lynn with them on the Enjoy an Album podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. This week we're going to be talking about Phoebe Bridgers and Lucy Dacus and Julian Bakers.
And?
No, that's the three of them. The Boygenius. Thank you for cracking open the Iron Brew over the introduction.
Cracking open a cold one at the start of the podcast.
Why the hell not? We should try and seek sponsorship from Iron Brew. They're visible every week.
Honestly, I'm so fucking pissed off about that. I'm really angry. Just because I've flagrantly said multiple times that a lot of the extra products, I'll say, are fucking shite. They refused to give me money to say how good the main product is.
They followed me on Instagram?
Yeah, they followed me on Instagram as well.
Yes, so officially followed by... do you know what? I was at a wedding at the weekend. Do you get this? Right. I was at a wedding at the weekend, and the mother of the bride, my brother's partner's mother...
Yeah.
Said to me...
Your brother from another partner's mother.
Yes. Wait, no. I was chatting to her... and she said, I listened to your podcast.
No.
Which gave me the fear of God.
Cannot happen under any circumstances.
I was like, no.
I don't even have a brother.
No.
But if my
brother's wife's mum can't listen to the podcast.
She can.
We talk too much about cum.
Yep.
And I know she's probably heard this now.
She probably doesn't like 9/11 chat.
Maybe she does.
Maybe she does. That's
maybe I don't think she's a rig. I don't think she's not an ultra.
She's not an ultra. She should be.
She fucking should be. But I think she just has occasionally listened to, if she knows an artist.
Yeah.
And she'll listen to That honestly,
I love the Isley Brothers. I'll check out my son-in-law's.
That shouldn't sound anything like that. But
oh yeah, what's she sound
I'm
like?
not going to do an impression of her. She listens to the podcast.
Oh yeah. My brother-in-law, she's Hagrid. My brother, son-in-law's brother. Listen to this podcast about the Isley Brothers. I love the Isley Brothers.
Yeah. I bought an Isley Brothers record.
You did indeed, yeah.
At a record fair in Manchester.
Roberta Flack also.
I haven't bought many records from record fairs. Very different to the record shop, the record fair, in that there's different vibe and also just much more chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a guy who's got thousands of records that he's just pulled out the back of his van, and there's a lot more random stuff.
Loads of stuff that you would never get in a shop.
For example, a record I nearly bought for a laugh, but then I thought, "Come on, Liam."
What was it?
It was Highland Bird Sounds.
Yes, please.
We
should do that.
What, really?
Yes.
Secret posh show on the birds of
on the
birds of Dufftown.
The Highland coot. I love the coot. It's kind of an eyes wide shut style bird.
Oh, you're so naive. It's the coots. We're having a good time.
We're having a good time.
So this week it's Boygenius, a couple of Boygeniuses right here, ready to talk about podcasts. We hope you enjoy
ready
it.
to talk about podcasts?
Hoping to talk about podcasts. Oh, God almighty. It's going to be a long episode.
What does your brothers, partners, mum sound like? What's her accent?
English.
I've given you 2 English accents and you've said it's neither.
That's all there is. Just 2. Enjoy the episode. Ultras, you're going straight into the body of the app. Worms, you're about to hear an advert for Manscaped. Enjoy. Bye.
Jesus.
Hey, are your pubes too hairy? Do you need help with that?
Your groin too hairlicious? Hirsute?
Is there too much of a positive environment for crabs and lice?
Too much fuzz on your coos?
When you get undressed in front of someone you wish to have a sexual time with, are you embarrassed by the state of your nether regions?
Having an examination done by a doctor and you're self-conscious about how hairy your balls and bits are?
Us too. What a shame there's no solution for this kind of problem.
No, wait, there is.
What?
Manscaped.
Oh my God, what is that? Tell me more.
Not manscaping, not manscaper, Manscaped.
Only a stupid person would have called it that by accident 10 times in a row.
Yes.
I need an idiot.
It's the below the belt grooming experience. It's not blade free, it's blade full.
It's bladeful.
It's cut free. You won't cut
cut free.
I'm literally closing my eyes in the shower in the fucking rain coming down. I shower in the rain and I'm just not even looking, just buzzing.
If you do look, there's a little handy torch which highlights where you're about to trim. Yes.
I've never used the torch. That's cool.
Yes.
Attached to the lawnmower?
Yes, there's a light that comes on that shows you exactly where you're trimming.
So you can do it in the dark with your eyes closed and you'll still hit the mark.
You can do it dark, with your eyes closed, in the shower. It's waterproof. You can charge it using USB-C. So you can unplug your phone if you've got a USB-C, plug it straight into your pube trimmer.
You're on a train.
You're ready to go. You're on a train. Please only use these
your
plug
phone's up to
sockets
75%
for phones, laptops, and pube trimmers.
That's why they have that sign. Don't do that. But what you should
Sometimes I go into a coffee shop and I sit near a plug socket and I plug my lawnmower in so that I could jump into the bathroom, keep it fresh all times. I never want to see a single hair on my balls, otherwise I cry.
Yeah, I've got a cock like a dolphin.
It's
grey
and endangered.
Just if you want a funny gift for someone, or
it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's fucking
useful.
Serious.
Enjoy an album. No, what's the code again? Manscaped album 20. God Almighty!
You get 20% off.
Can you believe we get paid for this? Album 20 for % off your first purchase and ongoing purchases. I think
if you don't have a cock and balls, you can do it on other stuff, but it's mainly made for the cock and balls.
It's got the word "man" in the title. Let's be honest.
Let's not get into that topic, man, but hey, it's good.
It's good stuff.
The pants are good.
And the underwear, the anti-chafing material is to die for. That's album 20. Don't die for it. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
You're listening to Enjoy an Album,
the podcast where two comedians listen to some of the greatest albums of all time. Comprised of Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus, three singer-songwriters each already deep into successful solo careers, indie supergroup Boygenius showcases Dacus' wit, Baker's emotionally active style, and Bridges' darkly confessional lyricism, and the collaborative magic that happens when the three come together. After releasing their self-titled EP in 2018, the band returned in 2023 with their first full-length effort, The Record. It is.
First thing I want to say. Emotionally active style. What an insane choice to describe something as that.
But, you know, I kind of don't disagree with it, though. Emotionally active in that it is purposefully connecting with... No, you're right. It is stupid because all lyrics do that, don't they?
Yeah, that's the point of art.
Is there anything unemotional lyrics? I guess you can have that.
And even like in the club.
But it's kind of like politics, isn't it? Even something that is unemotional is therefore emotional in its unemotionality.
Talking Head style when he's like,
yes.
Don't worry about the government, you know, just go to my building. It's like, oh, he's clearly got something wrong with him, this boy.
Yes, we're going to do Talking Head soon, I think.
Yeah.
For the 4K restoration of Stop Making Sense.
Yes.
Yes.
I seen School of Rock at the GFT on Sunday, not to get too distracted straight away.
How was that?
I loved it.
I imagine the audience was quite annoying.
Yeah. Saturday night at the GFT, School of Rock 20th anniversary, which by the way made me feel insanely old.
You're fat and you have body odor.
It's like he was speaking right to me.
That was my favourite line of that film.
Yeah. Let's rock today.
Yes.
That was good as well.
I love this. That really powerful scene where he sings, that girl is like, I'm fat. And he's like, instead of being like, you're not fat.
He's like, yeah.
He's like, I'm fat. Aretha Franklin was fat and she was a queen.
Yeah.
When she sang, everyone loved her.
Yeah.
That was really...
I'm sexy.
That was really ahead of the time in terms of, acceptance about...
He immediately ruined it, but with Shallow Hal. But yeah, it was pretty...
That's true.
No, that's a good film as well. I like.
Is it?
I think Jack Black's honestly one of the most underappreciated
Shallow
artists.
Hal's not good, though.
That is good.
He was in King Kong as well,
You
which
think
was
Jason Alexander and Jack Black teaming up for a sex comedy isn't good?
bad. Correct.
You're fucking fried in the head, man. Anyway,
It's
second-
Boygenius.
yeah, second point.
This week, we've covered Phoebe Bridgers before.
We did Punisher.
We did do Punisher, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or did we
I think we
do
did
Stranger in the Alps? Yeah.
This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the Alps.
Yeah, this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Yes, when you fuck a stranger in the ass. So this week is Boygenius. This is, they say indie supergroup. What do you think about that term?
I love supergroups. I think they're so good.
It's
and
such
they're never disappointing.
It's such a...
They never make you want to kill yourself, these guys.
I'm detecting an air of insincerity about what you're saying.
Have you ever listened to any other supergroups?
Well, we spoke about the trio, which was Dolly Parton and Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris.
This is very similar to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of one.
Yeah. Did you ever listen to Chicken Foot?
No.
That was Steve Vai.
Right.
And the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer and the singer from Van Halen, who wasn't Eddie Van Halen. No, Eddie Van Halen was a guitarist. Sammy Hagar, who was the second Van Halen singer after David Lee Roth. That was Chicken Foot. And they fucking sucked.
There's the Smile, right? That's Tom York's
yeah.
Smile.
But that's really just...
Oh, no, Atoms for Peace, Atoms for Peace with Flea.
Why are the Red Hot Chili Peppers always getting involved in supergroups?
They fucking hate each other. They just want to join other bands.
Yeah, they do.
Fed up of each other, putting socks on each other's cocks.
Do you know the next Morrissey record is going to have the Red Hot Chili Peppers rhythm section?
Is it really?
Yeah.
These fucking freaks, man. What's going on with
Iggy
them?
Pop and Morrissey shared a recording studio, and they're...
Wow,
Iggy
I bet
Pop-
that was... I bet if walls could talk, what would they be saying about Iggy Pop and Morrissey?
their power
Probably
was flying.
something racist.
Yes. I think Iggy Pop's racist.
Probably not, but he's an old guy.
Yeah, they both like take their shirt off. That's cool.
True. Yes. Also, Phoebe Bridgers, we spoke about Better Oblivion Community Centre before,
That's
so
kind
she's
of
done collabs,
Sure.
big high up collab albums.
You ever listen to Audio Slave, big supergroup?
Yes.
That was Rage Against the Machine if Zach De La Rocca was the guy from Soundgarden, Chris Cornell.
Yes.
They fucking sucked.
But it can often feel
Cold Cheese was
these sort of big supergroup things I guess it can feel a bit cynical. Modern collabs often feel like, oh, well, if we bring two fan bases together. But I don't think this feels like that.
What I was going to say is, I think the issue with a lot of supergroups is it's two successful people and they're worried about upsetting each other. You know, somebody will bring an idea in and the guitarist from this band doesn't want to upset. You know, Steve Vai doesn't want to upset Sammy Hagar while the Red Hot Chili Peppers are sitting there chuffing and puffing, you know. So, but I think with this, they are all genuine friends and like they work creatively together quite well.
Yes, it's interesting watching them. In research for this week, watching interviews with them. It's almost that, you know what it's like? You know when you first listen to an episode of a podcast and it's like 100 episodes in and I'm aware of the meta notions of what I'm saying here, and there's all these in-jokes and there is like a relationship you don't quite know or understand.
How do these two can't even know each other?
And but they are so like entwined in each other's, you know, the speech patterns and the way they communicate with each other. It's like that. You feel like it can almost feel impenetrable. That's what listening to these guys, it felt a bit like that. It didn't feel like these are my friends, and it felt like, wow, these three love each other, and I feel like I'm intruding on their space.
Yeah. Do you think that happens with us?
100%.
Yeah. How do these two know each other?
No, I don't think people would think that. I think people listen and they hear us say the words slim cock bumblebee balls and they go,
eating cum. Spoonfuls of cum.
Just making each other laugh and forgetting that there is an audience who is listening, who should be the priority.
No. It's like the exact opposite when you listen to one of those podcasts where like a big production company has paid two comedians who don't know each other to talk about some weirdly formatted
Sometimes they're not in a production company at all. Anyway. Moving on.
Sometimes they are.
Most of the time now. So we covered Phoebe Bridges. I own this EP, or not this EP, the original Boygenius EP.
2018, pre Phoebe Bridges becoming a mainstream pop.
She was still pretty big. I mean, I was aware of her, but she was.
Oh, you're an indie boy, you know, your dad.
But Stranger in the Alps had come out, and it'd been pretty big, successful. But I think okay, she hadn't maybe
the last album was
Tipping Point. Sure, you know. Yep. So. The three of them got together. They met. I think they just all became friends from releasing music in a similar time. They
met in a green room initially, I believe. They were doing a show together. The first two, Julian
Baker and Lucy Dacus met and bonded because one of them was reading a Henry James novel, and so they had
Henry James,
great American novelist.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were reading, one of them reading that, so they got to know each other. But I guess often, in the same way that there's comedians that you come up with at the same time who you're doing sort of similar level gigs a lot of the time. But I think they were often thrown in together because they are female singer-songwriters.
As you have christened them, the bisexual nose ring extended cinematic universe.
Well, this is like if the Avengers of
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We checked out the fucking, you know, Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yes.
That was Phoebe Bridges. Stranger in the Alps, whereas this is Infinity War.
Yes.
You know, fucking Phoebe Bridges putting her skeleton costume hand out with one gem on it, you know.
Clip of Infinity War that people always share of everyone turning up at once.
When the portals open.
This is one of the best cinematic scenes of all time. I'm like, you are a baby.
Here's what
who should not be allowed to watch things.
Fellini?
No.
Lynch?
No. We're going to talk about record. We're not going to talk about Infinity War.
Every great piece of cinema was leading up. Not just all the Avengers films, but every great piece of cinema. I'm talking, you know, Birth of a Nation. I'm talking.
Yeah, that I believe. Actually, you're right. You won me over.
What was that thing with the babies going down the stairs in the pram?
Oh, that old French film. Yes, that's there.
The Bicycle Thief.
That movie of the train coming towards the screen.
That happened. So I was surprised when Captain America opened all those portals, the fucking train didn't come out, because I would have fucking jumped out of the way.
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin, all the way up to your, you know, Bridge in the River Kwai, Casablanca, through
Okay, let's not talk about this anymore.
Meg Ryan,
Please.
You've Got Mail. You know, every piece of cinema was building up to Avengers Infinity Wars. And this is what that, and don't say I'm just talking about shit that's going to do with the record, because this record is the equivalent of that. I also think every piece of music was leading up to the record by Boygenius. You
Yes.
know,
All
Birth of the Nation
lowercase.
soundtrack and other stuff.
So we covered Phoebe's background in the Phoebe Bridgers episode. Quick recap: her dad was a set designer, and she had a fairly, I would say, middle class upbringing. We weren't going to label her full posho.
Shout out to the unions.
Shout to the
To
unions.
making it so that just a humble set designer can have a upper middle class lifestyle in America. If only that existed over here.
I think set designers do okay over here.
I don't know. I don't know any.
Well, exactly. We don't.
My big sister was going to be a set designer and it didn't work out.
Well, you've got a double-barreled name, so that tells us everything we need to know.
It's not that type of double.
But we
barrel.
can do a little quick background check on Dacus and Baker. Let's hear it.
Sick pie show. You do it fast and it feels like not show. Got no
How would
money.
Boygenius
You
do this?
got that no-
Secret pie show. His dad had a blue name on Wikipedia. He got kicked out of private school, but I still love him.
I don't know secret mind.
Lucy Dacus grew up in, and I've written in brackets, sounds made up, Mechanicsville.
Mechanicsville? You know, I grew up in a humble town, Mechanicsville, where
It's like,
everybody... It was in the Rust Belt, and, you know, everybody worked.
Mechanicsville, USA. Come on to fuck. Who's naming towns over
I bet
there?
Reagan came in his pants when he shut that place down, man. I bet Ronald Reagan's fucking cum slick drawers.
Lucy Dacus grew up in Mechanicsville. She was adopted. Her dad was I think her mum was a pianist, and her dad was a graphics teacher.
Wow.
The old at Mechanicsville High. No, they went
a
to
trade college.
went to Maggie Walker's Governor's School, which is like a grammar school, basically, test based, but not
Maggie
private.
Walker, that Johnny Walker's sister.
Yeah, Johnny Walker's sister in Mechanicsville. It's a pretty normal school.
I refuse to believe anybody from Mechanicsville is a secret posh show. I'm sorry.
Or it's the ultimate secret posh show in that, because it sounds like if you were pretending to be poor, the name of a town you would make up. Do you know what I mean? Where are you from? Me, very working class upbringing. I'm from Street Cleaner City.
I'm from Bin Man Town.
The alumni of a school is not that interesting. There was one guy. I mean, this is nothing to do with posh. It was just interesting. A guy called Mohammed Alavi, who very influential in the Modern Warfare 2 series. and created, do you know that famous Modern Warfare mission called No Russian?
Oh, that's one of the
Most controversial moments in gaming history. Well, that was him. So they went to the same school, but unrelated.
I never played that game. It's like you walk into an airport and you need to shoot innocent people.
Basically, you just gun down a load of civilians.
Because you're undercover.
Yeah,
But it's making you do something bad to maintain. It's like for the greater good, you have to commit a war crime.
yeah, it's pretty
It's a
fucked
really
up.
good lesson to teach children.
Yes. Gillian Baker is from, this sounds made up as well, Germantown
Come on.
in Tennessee.
And Germantown.
What is going on with the naming in
Willkommen to Tennessee.
Mechanicsville and Germantown?
Yeah.
They sound like different areas in a theme park. Her parents both worked in the field of physical therapy. She has spoken of being inspired by her father, who, after an accident in his 20s resulting in the amputation of his leg, dedicated to his life to making experimental prosthetic limbs.
Wow. That's sick, isn't it?
That's cool.
Do you think, so like, obviously we've talked about Phoebe Bridgers and our own histories with them. Had you ever fucked with Julian Baker or Lucy Dacus before? Not just this week, but before you have the EP on record.
I have to say, but prior to that, Lucy Dacus, I've listened to before. She has a great song called Night Shift, which I love.
It's about Roscoe's Twitch.
Yes. Julian Baker, I hadn't really listened to her solo stuff.
I funnily enough had checked her out because I remember she was all over when Scott Hutchinson died.
Right.
Frank Rabbit. She was all basically a record came out called Tiny Changes, which
Yes.
people assume is all his friends, and like, you know, Biffy Clyro's on it, and fucking Julian Baker's on it, the guys for the National are on it, and Daughter is on it, and that people thought, oh, they must have put all those covers in as like a tribute, but it actually got recorded for the 10th anniversary of Midnight Organ Fight, but then something, and then it got pushed back. And then eventually, he had already heard all these covers and organised them before he
So
died.
Julian Baker has covered a Frightened Rabbit song.
She's
on
a
this
big
album.
rabbit head.
Big
and
Rabbit
he
Head. What's the
really
song
likes
she's
her.
covered?
So on that one, they cover, I think it's Aaron Dessner and her doing a cover of...
Modern Leper, is it?
Modern Leper, exactly. Yep. And then when they done an actual live tribute called, in New York at Rough Trade Records, they done a thing called Songs, and a celebration of Scottish songs, and she does like 5 of them. She does like Holy from Pedestrian Verse and all these other ones. So she's a huge rabbit head.
So you knew Julian Baker, but not really Lucy Dacus?
Not really Lucy Dacus.
I don't know Lucy Dacus, not really Julian Baker. So between us,
we know almost nothing.
We've got a little background. Did you
like Lucy Dacus other than Night Shift?
Yeah. I hadn't. I'm not going to claim to be a big Dacus head, but I heard Night Shift. I must have just heard it on the radio or Spotify radio or something, and that song fucking slaps. So I think I was like, this chick bangs, and then put it on every now and then, but not a huge amount.
Okay.
So that school, Julian Baker went to a pretty normal school. No alumni.
No alumni.
It's like my school. There's no, on the Wikipedia, there's not even a link to say who went here.
Do you think you should be the first?
Well, I'm not saying that.
You had a good fringe.
Perhaps if the judges had made the fucking decision they should have. As a joke.
At what?
At my school judges.
Yeah.
The judges at school.
Yeah.
Perhaps if they should have
For your long
decided.
jump.
Yeah, for my
should say
synchronized swimming at Dagenham Pool.
That's very funny, even to say in jest. Well, if the judges had really noticed what was going on, then maybe
I would be in my school's alumni page.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe.
Did you fuck with? Basically, I kind of wanted to cover this one just because people are, you know, you exposed me to a website called Album of the Year that kind of collates and congregates the best reviewed
It's kind
records.
of like a Rotten Tomatoes for albums, although it is better. I think it's weighted pretty well.
Rotten Tomatoes has been destroyed by its own avarice for content. So it's all these dum-dums that don't really have...
Movieordie.com. Give this 100 apples out of 100.
Movie geeks. That zang. Yeah. And you're like, what?
Yeah, whereas I think I have found good albums via this before.
I have used that as a... But basically, this is like number one or
current
number 2.
numero uno for this year. So this
is really in the running for Album of the Year.
Well regarded by the music press, which makes sense because they are 3 individual musicians who are operating at the height of their powers, seemingly, coming together for what seems like a really natural artistic creation, rather than it being like a quick cash in or something. It does feel like these are 3. I mean, you see it when you see them being interviewed. You see that these are 3 very good friends.
They love each other,
like genuinely. So I watched that Zane Lowe interview, and I know we talk about Zane Lowe every week. I want to say that I know we don't. I feel like people will feel like we take the piss out of Zane Lowe. We don't like him. I think
you like him.
I do like him, and I do think he has great musical knowledge.
I think he was on one when he interviewed these lads, though.
He's very passionate.
So I'm sitting here with the greatest group in the world.
Oh, I'm getting nervy talking to you guys.
You guys rock. You know what I mean?
So much. The way there were so many perfect examples in this interview of the amazing way in which he switches on a dime so quickly. He's like, "You guys are so funny. I'm having the best time of my life." What do you think happens after death?
When I'm sitting with you, it's like I'm sitting with three best friends at school lunch. But do you think souls really go anywhere when you die, or is it just pointless being alive? Oh, sorry, I should be having this conversation 45 minutes later, but I want to talk about it now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he's
But
really good questions, doesn't he? And he finds them in songwriters.
when you see the three of them,
Why don't you got your priests in? You're a therapist, man. He's sitting there with fucking the girl for Big Thief going, what's the point? What's the point in breathing?
but I would like. Listen, I would love to go for a coffee with Zane Lowe.
I'd love to go for a glass of water, but that guy doesn't need coffee.
Yeah,
he's too caffeinated, and I can talk. Sometimes I have 2 coffees before one of these, but you know that he's over caffeinated.
Oh my god, that's the best water I've ever had in my goddamn life.
Jesus, what's this called?
What water? Oh,
Cold water.
cold. The water in this place is just so different.
Any freaking rocks.
So, what do you think the point of friendship is? What? We're drinking water.
I just love having a laugh. Yeah.
I watched that. I also watched their interview with Nardwar. Very different vibe, because in the Apple Music with Zane Lowe, Zane is so excited to be in their company, whereas a complete opposite with
These
Nardwar.
lassies are dweebs. They're music dweebs.
Hundo P.
So
they're
they've
very
watched
online.
Nardwar.
They're very online. They are obviously very excited to meet Nardwar. And they are like, when he brings gifts out for them, they are screeching. They're so excited.
Yeah.
And it is hard not to enjoy them.
Album. Oh.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. It's hard not to enjoy them being in each other's company, because the friendship is so infectious. That's what I mean when I say it feels like you're almost like peering in. They really are their
I think
own.
that impenetrability.
Sure,
Is that the word?
I think so.
Impenetrability. I think the impenetrability of, you know, stuff like that is the appeal. Cause you're like, fuck, I need to get on their level. You can either bounce off it and go, okay, or you go, I need to get at these people. And the more interviews, I was like, no, these guys really like each other. And
100%.
And like when this weird thing where like sometimes they talk over each other, but when Julian Baker talks, everybody like shuts up and turns around and listens to her.
Well, that's it, right? There are 3 goofballs. They love to goof around, but they're also really not afraid of doing their own codes, their own switch into. They'll be having a laugh and being dumb, and then one of them will say something about, you know, the way they've written something or what they want to gain out of something, or their opinion on, you know, how they're treated as women in the music industry. And then they're all on such the same wavelength with each other that they can all follow each other through that without it being jarring.
Yeah, sure.
And it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And it's kind of 3-dimensional. It's not as... It's kind of what the whole project's about, isn't it? They kind of called it Boygenius as a joke, because they were like, why do girls never get called geniuses the way boys do?
Well, it's this idea that you know, the higher up the music industry you go, the more men you meet who have been called geniuses from the age of 10,
Yeah.
who then believe their every thought,
Conor Roberts.
every idea they have is not only worth saying out loud, but worth pursuing.
Rick Rubin. Oh, you're actually coughing. I thought you were doing a bit like I was doing.
Not only saying it now, but worth pursuing. But then when they were writing with each other at first, they were basically trying to channel that idea of like, because, and you do see this a lot, and maybe it is more with women than men. I don't know. I'm not qualified to speak about this, I guess, but you do see, I think, in creative areas, a lot of the time, women shutting their own ideas down, going, "Oh no, I don't want to." No, do you know what? It's silly.
Yeah,
I think you
self-police and self-censoring.
Yeah, and so the idea was they would say to each other, "Channel your boy genius." Okay, so if you say something that's I don't know, they would stop each other. So no, say it. What were you going to say? Let's explore it. Let's talk about it together. And that was how they created that first EP.
Wow,
which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
I hopefully haven't spoken out of turn there.
You know what? Who just speak out of turn?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak to how women feel.
Do I mansplain feminism?
Thank you. I want to manscape feminism.
You can use the code album20 to shave your
Shave the patriarchy.
Shave the patriarchy.
Shave the glass ceiling, please.
But a lot of it is kind of self-inflicted. And they do include a lot, because there's a big thing in comedy, I think, sometimes where somebody will go, you know, some fucking guy who works for a TV channel will go, do you know what we need? An all-women TV show.
Yeah.
It's written by women and it's acted by women. And it's like, oh, are you going to give up your job? It was like, what? It's like, well, you're a guy and you're in this, so maybe you should quit your job and give it to a woman, and then she can do it. And then everybody's a woman all the way up and all the way down. And they're like, no.
But that is the case in this, I think.
Yeah, they literally kicked all the dudes out the record studio, and it's produced by this girl called, engineered by a woman, called Sarah Tudson, and she's produced fucking Tim Heidecker's solo record, Chick Chick Chick, Black Lips, The Kills.
I love Chick Chick Chick.
The Hamilton soundtrack.
What?
She produced that.
What?
She's like the Slow Dive. She's like the production whiz kid, and she has her own band called Illuminati Hotties.
Oh, yeah, I know them. Okay, so here's the thing.
Sure.
I enjoy their company, right?
Women?
Women. I enjoy the company of women, and why shouldn't I? No.
It's not illegal.
Boygenius. It's not against the law. When will it be?
You enjoy their company?
Well, when I'm watching a podcast, or when I'm watching them being interviewed, it feels like a podcast sometimes. However, they do occasionally stray into the region of cringe.
Oh, yeah?
You know
You know how I feel about cringe, though. It's a necessary evil.
Of course. There was a photo shoot I was trying to find of them when they were announced this album. And like Phoebe Bridgers has got like shoes on her hands.
Right. Okay. Is it the one where one of them
I
has
saw
their
it-
top up and they're covering the boobs but the top's up?
Yeah, and they were like,
That's a certain photographer who does that, though. He's like the new age Terry Richardson.
when they had the shoes on their hands, it was
Nobody
like,
looks cool with shoes in their hands.
yeah, and it's like that meme of the girl with peas on her head. She's so crazy.
Come on.
Or when they got that one where it's like, it's the young boys, and they're like, we told him to sit on the ground, and he actually sat on the ground. He's so crazy.
But it's like, remember when Seinfeld in the last season, Seinfeld had done that photo shoot for like Time magazine where they're all wearing gimp stuff.
Yeah.
Seinfeld isn't a gimp necessarily.
No, but like I do.
The photographer made her put the shoes in their hands.
Sure.
And maybe it was a woman photographer, and she said, you know what, finish that thought. What's the thought?
Maybe.
Shoes in the hands? Okay. Well, not what I would do, but in the spirit of the project.
Maybe. They're very online, aren't they? Like they're very. There was I remember them tweeting, like someone had done. It was the meme was like, what if we kissed at a Boygenius concert? And they retweeted it, said, what if we fucked? You know,
They're super horny, super
they're
sad.
super horny. They're not afraid to say what's what. Who did they call? Who did Phoebe Bridgers call a fucking?
We haven't spoke about this because since the last episode we done about Phoebe, the stranger in the Alps, she was going out with Paul Mescal, the
Paul
Irish.
Mescal, wearing my Connell chain.
What? What's that?
You not seen Normal People?
No.
You haven't watched Normal People?
I've read the book. I haven't watched. I don't actually own a TV. I read books. I have a bookshelf in the shape of a TV, and I sit in front of it and imagine.
I only read books that have been turned into TV series that I haven't watched. So I've watched Normal People. I've read Normal People, Game of Thrones.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
I love that
I've
novel.
read The Simpsons. Got signed to Matt Groening. No, he wears a chain. Paul Mescal.
A Connell chain? It's
What
an
is it?
Irish thing.
No.
Oh, he's Connell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you'd read the book.
I fucking read books ages ago, though.
Anyway.
Too busy jacking off. This is the horniest book I've ever read in my life. Jesus Christ.
The TV show is twice as horny because you don't have to imagine it. You can see it.
You don't know what my brain's like, man.
They fucking every day. And in Irish.
I remember I was reading that book.
Jesus.
I was reading that book. And I went to the Glasgow stand, and Mansi was like, what are you eating? You fucking
Swamp donkey.
you fucking reading, you swamp donkey. You know, I thought that guy was breathing. And I went, oh, I'm reading Normal People. And he went, what's that? And I was like, it's kind of about a young Irish girl's sexual awakening. And he went, Jesus fucking Christ, they should put you in a jail, you cunt. Could have been reading that one with a fucking hard on. I was like, oh my God. Don't put me on blast, Raymond, man. You know? Get well soon.
Listen.
To the big man.
I say this with absolutely no proof whatsoever, but Sally Rooney's favourite record is this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's all similar universe, isn't it? Bisexual nose ring universe.
Yeah. It's. I'll say
Why
this.
are we talking about normal people? What came up? Oh, because Paul Mescal and Phoebe Bridgers
broke up.
Long rumored couple. Finally
engaged.
Finally went official, and then a couple of days later we broke up because apparently.
Don't fucking say this out loud.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Whisper it.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Fuck.
Cheated.
Was it infidelity?
With Bo Burnham.
Bo. It's fucking out of order.
Oh my God.
Bo.
Yes.
Fucking no, none of them. Fucking don't done them, man.
Oh my God. Yes. Fucking Ho Burnham. What are you doing?
You fucking idiot. I'm so sad you're locked there. I'm going to record the fucking stand-up show.
Let's not put other comedians on blast that much.
Fuck that cunt. He's dead to me. Ruining Paul. Paul Mescal made it okay for men to wear shorts.
Yes, and chains.
And wee chains.
Absolutely.
With that video where he had the bag of cans.
Listen, all we're doing is we are checking in on Paul Mescal's mental health.
Checking on your friends, mates.
We're checking in on his men's mental health. Is he a normal person? Sure, it's normal to cry. Okay,
we're just ordinary people. You know, that's what I said when I see.
Anyway,
Paul.
that's the gossip. I don't know if there's 100% confirmation on that, but I'm pretty sure Phoebe and Bo are now a thing. But Phoebe's look, I don't
imagine leaving a good culture boy.
I don't want to be reductive. You know, obviously we're talking about the record and the band and the art, and we're talking about the dating life. But the dating life does seep into a bit of this. I mean, the song
if it's
Emily,
an album full of fucking love songs,
yes,
come on, you can't even talk about the goss.
The song Emily, I'm Sorry is about Phoebe's experience in a throuple.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
With who?
I don't know their names, but then there was a not these guys,
okay.
But like a sort of, she had like, I think a sort of sexual arrangement with a couple, and then it went bad, and then the guy tried to sue Phoebe.
She sued what?
After she made some
when
statements.
polyamorous goes wrong.
On,
the law gets involved.
She made she wrote notes in her Instagram story about this guy, and then he tried to sue her, but the case was thrown out of court.
How can you fuck up your poly throuple bad enough that the state of California gets involved?
Yeah, I know.
Where a big judge with a big powdered wig shows up, goes, "You're so bad at fucking. You fucked this. Your dick's so bad." That I have to.
So I believe Emily, I'm Sorry is addressed to the other female in that thrup.
Emily, I'm Sorry. Yeah.
God, I don't know how Gen Z are doing it with the thruples, man. That seems like a lot of fucking work for me. I'd love being in a couple.
I don't know. What?
Just funny.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird. God bless them. But it's like that way when you're like, oh, that's what that generation does. But then you think about like the 60s and it's like, oh, everybody was doing acid. And it's like, some cunts just worked in a fishmonger's and they didn't do acid, you know? And they were like, oh, I don't mind the Rolling Stones. But they weren't like fucking teabagging people in a field to the fucking, you know.
I don't think teabagging was really a phenomenon in the 60s. I don't know. I don't care how much acid you were doing. That's a modern thing.
Imagine getting teabagged at Woodstock.
Teabagging has come and gone.
Some cunt hasn't had a shower in fucking 5 months.
I was thinking about Woodstock. The state of the toilets there would have been disgusting. We spoke about this before.
No way. This is what you always think about?
Every day I wake up. First thing, wife says, morning. I'm like, I mean, there was no precedent for hygiene at festivals. So where were these people shitting?
There was no wet wipes back then. It's a modern invention.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of wet wipes, what was your favourite song? Oh my God, are you okay?
Sorry, Thorburn.
Sorry, Chris. Please edit these out.
Before we go into our favourite songs, let's instead talk about our favourite tattoos.
Really? Is that the order we do it? Most
Yes.
of the time?
Yes, always.
Okay. Always? Okay. Every episode for the last 100 episodes. So it's a boom boom bam bam with two guys reviewing tattoos. We're gonna Google image search and then we'll choose if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo. We're judging the ink, yeah, that's what we do. The full sleeve or face, that's a big skull or wing. That you pick the design, is it bad or just fine? Oh, dragon or a skull, pretentious or dull, you cannot hide. We will decide if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo, yeah.
Before we get into the tattoos, I would just like to say, this is again something I'm going to claim. Obviously, there's zero evidence for this. I think that each 3 members of Boygenius would thoroughly enjoy the tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo jingle.
I think every human on this planet would enjoy it if they would just had a chance to hear it.
If they just had a chance.
I just had a chance to share it.
Some people are born without ears. People think about that. They'll never hear tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo, and I think that's sad. Personally, don't know what you think.
I think it's a shame that people don't know that song.
Yeah,
because I think everybody who knows it really likes it.
I was speaking to an ultra just at the weekend. Who told me just stand at the Enjoy an Album in. Yes. And they said that they have that song stuck in their head basically once a day. They sing it.
That's rough.
Yes.
How do you think it is to born it in your head?
Let's look at these tats then. So this is who is this?
This is Julian Baker.
She's got a lot of tattoos.
George, can we go back to the album?
Okay, we're gonna.
Because funnily enough, we take a look at the album art and we decide if it is good or fart. The album cover of the record by Boygenius is a tattoo woohoo in and of itself. Because if you're not watching this on YouTube, and we don't upload videos to Spotify for some reason, so if you cannot see this, the album cover is the 3 hands of the 3 members stretched in the air.
As if reaching for something higher.
Success.
Aren't we all?
On a world scale. And every wrist has a matching tattoo, a tooth.
Yes.
A tooth. And it was based on something, I think there's a song on the EP called Bite the Hand.
Yes.
And this is like, they wanted it on their hands, but then tattoo artists are kind of funny. If you don't have a lot of tattoos about hand tattoos, they're like, you should get other ones that aren't on your hands before you get that one.
Really?
No one said that to my granddad.
Well, I think if Phoebe Bridgers is coming into your tattoo parlor and saying, "Can I have a tooth on my hand?" He's like, "Are you sure about this? What the fuck?
You're about to make."
I bet it was a male tattoo artist. That's all I'm saying. I bet it was Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal.
That's all I'm saying. Have you talked about this?
I'm horny. You're posh, I'm poor. Who gives a fuck? Shag me now.
So they've got a matching. No, we've had matching band tattoos before.
Who?
I think a number of people have had a matching band tattoos. There was one recently.
Isley Brothers.
No, there was one very recently that we've done.
They had matching DNA.
Well, sure,
that is related.
Yeah, that is one up from tattoos. Sure,
yeah, this is basically everybody.
That's
has
God's tattoo.
Everybody
genetics.
has a tooth on their wrist.
I think matching tattoos are cool.
As you can see on the left, one of them is more heavily tattooed than the other. That is Julian Baker. Are you giving us a woohoo or a boohoo for the teeth, though?
A woohoo from me.
It's a woohoo from me. Should we get... We've spoken about this. What should we get matching tattoo-wise? I'm thinking...
Popcorn.
Are we popcorn? I don't like popcorn. And I feel
like
if I
it would also be suggestive of a movie podcast.
Which it's rapidly becoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious to get like a record or something, a gramophone.
Maybe, what was I don't want to get Arcade Fire tattooed on you.
Yeah, that's true. He's a beast.
That guy's a fucking creepazoid.
One of the richest person we've ever covered.
Sticky-dicked nonsense.
Yes.
Fuck, maybe it'll have to be the popcorn. Maybe it'll be a Slim Cock Bumblebee Balls record. Or just a wee tiny one. Or something. I don't know.
Yes. We'll think about it. Okay.
We'll get a wee record. Would you get a record tattooed on you? Do you think that's wank?
I just think it's because the record is so basic looking. It's just such a circular
if it was a
disc.
sleeve with
a record over your elbow?
No, that sucks.
We'll talk
You've
about
ruined the whole idea for
I think
me.
we should get matching tats though. I'm into it.
Okay.
Or just the words tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo.
TWBH.
TWBH. 3 weeks Boko Haram. My favorite reviewing publication and my favorite African terrorist group.
They're my favourite as well. I'm giving this a boo. A woohoo. I'm giving it a woohoo.
Okay. Georgie, let's please have the first tat on the tat list.
Okay, so this is Julian Baker.
The arms of Julian Baker have been presented to us.
So what you need to know about Julian Baker is she came into music through the Christian metalcore scene.
She's straight edge.
She's straight edge, she's Christian, she's gay.
Wow.
The
that's a thruple.
trifecta.
Yeah.
She's a lot of stuff. She's fucking class.
She's a lot of stuff.
This is the only way out. Love is the only way out, or something like that.
Love is the only way out on a ribbon spiraling around a coffin.
And I'd love a coffin tattooed to me, where we skeleton hand coming out going, save me, save me.
You can do that.
Yeah,
that's doable.
So that's one. This is quite cool.
Right.
I wanted to get a banner script on this tattoo, and the guy said that's an extra $20 Canadian, so not even real dollars.
Yeah, fake money, itchy and scratchy dollars.
And I said, okay, no, I wish I got it though.
What would it have said?
No, I wanted that said, don't forget. 9/11 tattoo. Don't forget. Never forget. But he said, yeah, I'll have to redraw it. And I went, oh, okay, just get the thing I don't want then to make you happy. Yep. Canadian tattoo artist who has never been in touch.
Yep, never heard from him.
Dick.
It's a boohoo from me.
For that guy?
Yeah.
Right. What about this? The tattoo.
The tattoo of a coffin with a banner around it saying love is the only way out. Pretty cool. That's a woohoo from me.
Woohoo from me.
These guys, here's the thing. These are three of the coolest people in music at the moment.
But also dweebs.
They are dweebs, and they're aware of that. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of... There is... I watched a Pitchfork clip of them where Lucy Dacus admits... This thing as well. I don't want to...
You don't want to be too horny.
No, this isn't a horny thing to... No, that was horny from you. To assume that something I'm going to say is horny, that means horn is on the brain. And it always is. We know that. Shred your hair some horny. Pull my scales back. There's a trope of the manic pixie dream girl, right? Which is a somewhat reductive trope against creative women. However, there's an interview of Pitchfork in which Lucy Dacus admits to the group that she has a Google Drive folder exclusively for pictures of her own shadow.
That's cool.
And I was like, these are...
I don't know. I feel like these three are like the Joseph Gordon-Levitt of the gender swapped manic pixie dream girl.
Yes.
And they are finding these fucking weird guys who are the Zooey Deschanel's and Maggie Gyllenhaal's. You know what I'm saying about that? Kind of.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
they're the protagonists.
It's kind of a dated trope now anyway, but they're like the Gen Z version of whatever that is. They're like cool, they're online, they're horny, they're lowercase.
I'm lowercase.
You're not lowercase.
I've been lowercase for a long time if you look at my tweets.
Yeah, but that's an affectation. For these guys really are lowercase. Come on.
I'm not even going to get into that. That's a boohoo for me, you saying that about me. But this had a big fish, big Japanese fish. I like it. You can't really see the fish's face, but he's like...
Chris is doing a shocked face.
Yeah, it's like a catfish. They're permanently shocked by how they're not actually cats. I'm giving it a woohoo as well.
Yep, woohoo for the arms in general. You know, sleeve tats, easy to get wrong.
Easy to get wrong.
But when they're right, they look so fucking cool.
When you're a indie folk singer who comes out of the Christian metalcore community, it's hard to go wrong with your sleeves though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to have some kind of Christ illusion.
Yeah, they're cool. Love the fish.
Can we get the next
Next slide, please, George.
And this is, so I couldn't get both of them. And so there's her Boygenius tattoo. She's got a rose on the hand, woohoo for me. Cicada on that's fucking badass to have a cicada. Mm-hmm. And then work hard on the knuckle tats. What do you think about that?
That is I'm not crazy about that.
You don't like working hard?
No. Mm-hmm. For one, don't like working hard.
No.
For two, is it supposed to be like ironic or is it like a real thing?
I think it's like I'm fucking from Mechanicsville.
Yeah.
You know? Or Georgetown.
Work. I just think that's...
it.
I mean, having the word hard tattooed on your knuckles is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. You don't like work?
No, I don't like work. What about play hard? You know? Or...
That's
Christian
terrible.
Background, pray hard.
I like that.
One pray, one hard.
Pray hard.
Yeah.
Pray for your fucking...
I think it's cool. Knuckle tats.
You're really restricted by the amount of knuckles you have. I was thinking about stuff I would get tattooed, and I was like, oh yeah, fucking Cartoon Network. You know, maybe
too long.
Not Cartoon. Well, no, it's not long enough.
You'd have cartoon.
Ooh, and you get a pinky left. 7/7.
I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Cartoon up here and then Network down. I don't even like Cartoon Network that much. I was just thinking about words that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Coke Zero.
Yes, Coke Zero would work. But you know they're going to discontinue that when the zeitgeist changes.
Coke Zero is here for
You think so?
Hell yes.
That's not getting Coca-Cola.
It's outsold everything. Trying to get Coke Zero on a meal deal is becoming an increasingly difficult task because we're already sold out by the time you get there.
This is because of the sugar tax. And I'm not going to get into it, but this is because of the sugar tax.
No, it isn't.
It's a woohoo from me.
Yeah, I think she gets away with it it's a woohoo.
She's so cool. And I've Next slide. This is Lucy Dacus. I want to say a chiaroscuro shaded, almost rococo version of a hand. A lady's hand, a feminine hand.
Rococo's Modern Life.
Rococo's Modern Life. With a ring, and she's holding a flower, and there's flower going around the hand. For me,
this whole picture is giving MySpace 2008.
Very MySpace 2008, including just the quality of the camera.
Overlooking the shoulder.
Did she use a webcam for this?
Looks like it.
I think this is a laptop's camera.
This is a Lenovo C920, I think.
This is a Lenovo ThinkPad. An ideas pad, maybe.
So you have this is, I have to say, Lucy's not heavily tatted.
No.
And I have to say, I think that this is a little bit basic.
I don't think I've ever seen the hand, the disembodied hand tattoo.
Have you seen it? Do you remember the adverts for the lottery in the early noughties?
I remember the Addams Family.
It could be you. You don't remember those? It could be you. Big finger that would come down?
Don't remember that.
I know that there's a lot of album heads right now getting heavy nostalgia trip of me saying that.
It could be you.
It was a big floating finger that come out. That boss in Super Smash Bros. That's just a
played Elden Ring.
Mickey Mouse hand.
Played Elden Ring. A lot of hands floating about in that game. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But you haven't got to that part probably because you haven't applied yourself to Elden Ring. But I think
it's fine. I think it's fine. It's certainly not a boohoo. Nothing bad about it. I mean, look, listen.
It's not as strong a woohoo as Julian's tats, but it's still a woohoo from me.
Yeah, still technically a woohoo. Yes, and finally, George, is there one more slide?
There is.
No, that's it. Okay.
I had another one, but there was a whole... We know about this. There was a problem.
There was an admin error on your part.
I uploaded a full gallery of tattoos.
I had to watch Chris use a computer, which made me want to kill myself.
Anyway,
we can go back to the album.
This record,
George.
What's your favourite song on this record?
There's a bunch that I like. Not Strong Enough is probably the best example because what you have here is three different, incredibly strong singer-songwriters coming together. The best songs of the albums are the one in which the best of each of them are made, make the whole new thing.
Yeah.
And that's like Not Strong Enough, Always an Angel, Never a God. Where you go, okay, this sounds like Boygenius. Okay, those are the strongest ones. I'm not going to say weaker, but the less strong ones are the ones where, like, for example, Emily, I'm Sorry sounds like a Phoebe Bridgers song with Julian Baker.
And it is that because he was writing about the doomed throuple.
Absolutely, but that's not to say it's a bad song. Although, but if that song was on Punisher, it would not sound out of place.
No.
What's the $20?
Oh, that first track where it's like just a cappella singing harmonies, beautiful. I think that's a kind of Dacus cut.
The recording of it is quite weird because you listen to it on headphones and it sounds like I don't know how they recorded that, but there's like one microphone in the room and they're not all stood by it, and so the
texture, distance, space.
Yeah.
See, when you get right into enjoying albums, you start going, a lot of space in this record.
Yeah. That's it. After listening to how 150 records or whatever it is now, you're
start just interested how far away people are from microphones and stuff like that.
I love the screaming on $20.
I think and it's intentionally done like that so that when $20 comes in, you're like, oh no, fucking band, shut up, play the rock music.
I believe that song was written by Lucy Dacus while she was something she would sing to herself whilst doing the washing up.
Sing to me,
sing to me,
sing to me,
with you and I.
Yeah. It's lovely. Yeah. I love a cappella singing. See, when somebody just puts in one track a cappella, I'm a happy fella.
I'm a happy fella. Happy fella.
Happy fella.
Happy fella.
Honestly, I was in the train listening to this record.
Honestly, I was in Brian Eno's a cappella group. And
Fred.
Fred? Oh, I'm Fred again. So Emily, I'm Sorry is basically your peak Phoebe Bridgers song. $20 and Not Strong Enough are really good Boygenius songs. Lyrically, the album is what you would expect from these three people. They all are
three red legends.
These three good lads. They all three of them are really strong lyricists. They do sometimes wager a bit too much into the online tropes, I guess. There's a sort of
Leonard Cohen.
Yeah,
I love that bit.
I hate that bit.
Leonard Cohen once said, "There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And I am not an old man having an existential crisis at a Buddhist monastery writing horny poetry." But I agree. I think that's too much.
I thought that was just a bit too much.
I love shit like that. That's kind of Los Campesinos patter. That's kind of Morrissey patter. You know, that verbose illusions.
Yeah.
Do you know my favourite song? Cool About It. We don't have to be cool about it. We don't have to talk about it. I can walk you home and practice method acting. I'll pretend being with you doesn't feel like drowning. Telling you it's nice to see how good you're doing, even though we know it isn't true. It's like, fuck, man. Mm-hmm. You know, they said thanks to Paul Simon for the inspiration because it's literally the same like chords as The Boxer by Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, and it's the same kind of vibe. That song, I went for a big emo walk last night.
Big emo walk.
Past my old flat to my new flat.
Yep.
Up the old walk. I'm going to have to get a new walk, I think, because it's not really as... I don't know about what's happening in my life, but regards to walks, but I went on a big emo walk in the cold. It was the first cold night last night. It was raining yesterday after a bit of a hot stretch, a heat wave. And it was great. I had my hat on and I just listened to this whole record, and that song really got me.
Through your hat? You've hat radio?
No, I have have I described that hat?
You don't need to describe your hat.
Okay, so it's ear flaps.
Right.
But what I do is I tie my ear flaps up over my head so as that my earphones can go on over the top.
Right.
I'm very cute. Any other songs you liked?
Yes, Satanist. I love the lyrics. Solomon had a point when he wrote Ecclesiastes. If nothing can be known, then stupidity is holy. If the void becomes a bore, we'll treat ourselves to some self-belief.
Is this a lyric or is this an unhinged YouTube comment of the week?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's it. I mean, just lyrically, they are so bold.
Yeah.
Like, I can't... There's not many modern lyricists who would fuck with... Solomon had a point when he wrote Ecclesiastes.
Well, I think Dacus likes biblical allusions, and Julian Baker is it Julian Baker?
Yep.
She is an actual Christian. You know, she goes to church and she loves it.
Yeah. But just I love the verbatim style of writing, and you have that in a bit. You know, I'm not an old man having an existential crisis at a Buddhist monastery writing hornery poetry. Like there is
sometimes it do be that way.
Sometimes it really do be that way, I guess.
I've got an unhinged YouTube comment of the week. Sorry.
Okay.
Can I get? It's a bit of a long one.
No, I can see it. It's too long.
Unhinged YouTube
can you
comment of the...
Can you do some live editing?
We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
This is 3 months ago. Washirtayaku4348 said, I have a love-hate relationship with telling people how I feel. I feel desperate sometimes for someone to just get it. Nobody can put themselves in my shoes. Nobody can look at the world through my lens. But I still feel like I need them to. Like, if they just saw what I did, it would make me better, because then they would know how to fix it. But that isn't how that works, because they are another person, just like me, and can't explain how to give life meaning to me. It's so frustrating, because I want that to be the truth so much that when I remember it isn't, I don't see the point in saying anything, because why would I tell somebody I'm drowning if all they can do is watch? My audience is silent, but it isn't comforting. I feel like I'm in a room of people who speak another language. Maybe it's what I'm saying that doesn't make sense at all. I feels like the reason they are so peaceful is because I am not drowning. It makes something inside me feel so indignant and with another bout of desperation, but this time for an understanding that I don't understand why I need. I spell myself once more but they look at me with pity, not with understanding, and suddenly my drowning is shameful after my skin has lost sensation from the cold water and the lack of oxygen makes my head cloudy and thoughtless. I close my eyes and feel as if I'm already dead.
My YouTube comment is from Andrew Dressler 6173 and just says, would they be famous if they weren't woke? No. Hard to agree.
Hard to agree?
Hard to agree. Hard to agree with that.
Would they be famous if they weren't woke?
Well, I mean...
If they were racist, bisexual, Christian, indie folk rockers, supergroup,
probably.
I think they'd be more famous.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Andrew Tate would have them on his Compound podcast.
Maybe Andrew Dressler is Andrew Tate. That's all I'm saying. Listen.
I'm fed up of that cunt.
I can see why this album has been so positively received by the music industry. It seems to be...
Did it connect?
Did it connect?
Did you go, fuck?
Not as much as I did with Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think I preferred Punisher to this. I have to say, not as much as I did with the EP.
Oh, yeah?
The EP...
first cut's the deepest.
The first cut is the deepest, and there is something about that I feel like there's more songs on that which feel more Boygenius rather than individuals with their backing singers.
Right.
Taking turns to sing. If their solo,
hear about that too?
If their solo careers never existed and they released this, then the fact that some of them take center stage on different songs wouldn't feel like that. It would just be like, wow, this is a multi-talented band, and you know, in the way that some bands have
the Beatles.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how it would feel. But because they've gone from solo records to this, it doesn't feel that way. That's not to say I don't think it's an excellent album. I do, but it just didn't connect in the same way as the earlier records did.
It hit me. It got me. You know when someone goes, "Oh, this is the album
You've
of
been
the
clobbed
year."
over the head and dragged into bisexual nose ring caves.
I've crawled out, bloodied so many times.
Yeah,
I've escaped.
And then a hand, that big hand from the lottery advert comes in, it goes, "It could be you," and grabs your ankle and just drags you kicking and screaming.
A big lottery hand with a tooth tattooed on the wrist just grabs my ankle and I go, no, I want to listen to heavy metal this week. And he goes, no, you're going to listen to songs about fucking how sad you are. And I go, no, Daddy, no. But I'm back in the cave.
Back in the cave with Leonard Cohen writing horny poetry. I think it's a great album.
And you know what it did for me? I'll tell you this. Maybe I'm earnest, I'm mean, but the way they're friends made it remind me of the way we're friends.
Oh, Christopher. In a way that's annoying to everybody else. And George as well. Our producer this week.
But mostly you.
Yeah, mostly you and George.
George is great.
When is Zane Logan to interview us? That's what I want to know.
Bro, I'll listen to that Arcade Fire interview. The review.
It was so fire. I was honestly losing my goddamn mind. That Tattoo Woohoo or Tattoo Boohoo first deep cut, that sent me spinning. Anyway, who's your favourite poet and why?
When you make music, is it trying to have a conversation with Jesus? Or is it trying to have a conversation with your father who never loved you? What do you think it is? And what's your favourite type of Coke? I like Coke Zero.
What's your favourite song from this album? Do you think
it's got to be that
to put on the playlist? Perhaps, mayhaps.
Cool about
you,
it.
sir,
Honestly,
on the internet for the day.
Yes. It's not like that when I say mayhaps. Cool about it. It really rocked me. I listened to it on repeat about 7 times, and then I watched that. Yeah, I just fucking dug it. It's just the way it kind of.
I'm going to put on Not Strong Enough. It is the lead single from the album. The reason for that is I think it's the best example of it's Boygenius at the height of their collective powers, I think.
Cool about it, it's like that. They just take turns. Everybody gets like a posse cut for like Odd Future or something. No. The Wu-Tang Clan, it's like everybody just gets a wee turn.
It is like the Wu-Tang Clan. The Wu-Tang Clan.
The Wu-Tang Clan. That's when I bring up the fact my dad massaged Reza that time. Remember that? Yes. The fuck?
Which song inspired by our chat would you like to add to the playlist?
Well, it's crazy because every week we add 2 songs from the playlist.
That is crazy.
Done that.
Crazy.
The song from the record, but we also had 2 songs together, not a piece. 2 songs together we had inspired by the conversation we had. I'm going to stick on You're Better Than Ever by Illuminati Hotties.
Okay.
The girl who engineered the record, that's a real screamer of a song. It's a bit more kind of pop punk, but angrier than this as well. It's sick.
I've written 3 songs
so cool.
down here. One of them is Hardline by Julian Baker. One of them is Night Shift by Lucy Dacus. And one of them is Salt in the Wound from the Boygenius EP. I think I'm going to go with Night Shift, Lucy Dacus. It's one of these great songs that feels like 2 different songs in once, where it's like the first 2 minutes goes one way and then it changes, but it's still the same thematically, and it really fucking rocks. It builds this great crescendo. Crescenda. I choose you.
Mezzo molte. Crescenda. Marron.
I'm going to Italy soon. I'm going to try out some of my Italiano. Crescenda
With you.
So yes, Night Shift by Lucy Dacus, but I do recommend checking out those.
Can
other
I just
songs
say
that
another song that I listened to today from the Tiny Changes tribute to the songs of Scott Hutchison that Julian Baker is on? Daughter doing a cover of Poke. I was like, okay, it's an English lassie doing a cover of a Scottish guy singing a song. It's going to be shite. Then halfway through...
Wow.
Fuck, no offense. Then halfway through...
England versus Scotland tonight on the television. You're going to be crushed.
Okay. Don't care.
You say that. It sounds like you do.
Okay. I'm worried about the train back through after this being full of absolute fannies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Scottish people. Oh
yes. Football fans. But there's this song by Daughters cover. It's interesting because halfway, it's kind of a respectful cover. It's like a very kind of by the books cover,
right.
And then this bass drum comes in, and it's like a fucking Arab strap song. It's like,
right.
And it's like an electronic reimagining of Poke, which is one of my favorite songs. I used to sing that at open mics when I was 17 because I was a little fucking emo with a broken heart.
Emo with a broken heart. That brings us nice and
Did you
neatly.
enjoy the album?
Yes, of course. Did you?
Yeah.
Brings us nice and neatly.
Album of the year?
No, I don't know about that yet because there's other albums that I have preferred more.
What's your album of the year so far?
I love that Nina Johnson's album. Love it. I love Ives Tumor. Listen to that.
Ives
Tumor. He's Italian. They're Italian, maybe. So they're up there. ATM.
Yeah, but you dug it.
I dig it big style. I think people who enjoy this podcast would enjoy it.
Can I just say, I also dug it big style.
Yeah. I'm digging it big style every day. Sometimes people are just really out here digging it big style. That's all I got to say on the matter.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Enjoy an Album. We really appreciate all the lovely numbers keep going up. I don't know if you ever played Final Fantasy, but the joy of it is that the numbers go up. That keeps happening here as well.
The numbers are rising week on week. People seem to like what we're doing. We like doing it. We like you too. We hope you have a wonderful week. We hope you enjoyed an album.
We hope you enjoyed Enjoy an Album.
Peace and love in the new millennium. Bye.
Peace and love in the new millennium.